Hello, welcome along. Thank you for coming again. Today we're starting lying on our backs, please. So make your way there. Bending your knees up, feet on the ground. And just shuffle yourself in. Let your arms relax. Just at your sides comfortably. So a little wriggle in the shoulders. Let them gently start to open and relax back. Feel your feet on the ground, spreading your toes. Just easing throughout your whole body, noticing anything that you're still gripping onto. Time to let go. So relax any tension in your back muscles, maybe something around your pelvis. With each out breath, just softening down, settling in. And you can either keep your arms at your sides, or you could bring one hand onto your belly and one hand onto your chest. Maybe the side with your heart, your left hand. So feeling the movement of your breath beneath your hands. Still aware of any tightness that we're clinging on to. With this awareness, we can start to relax back even more. Even allowing your face muscles to relax. Any tension you're carrying around your eyes or your mouth. Staying as we are, just for a few more long breaths. Holding your full awareness in this space. And then relaxing your hands to your sides again. Bring your knees up so your feet float off the ground. Hands onto your knees. Just gently hugging them in. Maybe a little bit of rocking. Bit of movement here. Could bring in some side to side movement. Maybe you want to make some circles with the knees or any kind of shape that feels good. Okay, now bringing your left foot to the ground, hug your right knee in, really close to you. Notice the tension that creeps into your shoulders, just let them fall back. And you can either hold still or you could create some movement again. Side to side, up and down, whatever feels good. You might like to extend the other leg out long And then just bring this bent knee in a little bit closer to you. And you might even point the knee more up towards your armpit, so slightly wider, so you can get it up really close. Let's just hold here for a few breaths. Okay, now bringing your knee out to the side, holding it with the same hand, and the left hand just comes to your hip just to help hold your hip in place. So you notice if you start to roll off that bottom hip, let's try to keep the pelvis square. So the knee might only come kind of out to the diagonal, out to a 45-degree angle, which is just a natural rotation for your hip. If there's any intensity in the pose or any discomfort in the lower back, you can bend up that bottom knee again. So just listen to your body, see what feels better for you. Now the knee that's to the side, the right knee, just holding under the thigh. Float your leg out long, it doesn't have to be completely straight. So holding the leg in your hand. Just let gravity start to work without rolling off that left hip. Now bending the top leg and just pass your knee to the opposite hand. Not coming all the way over, so we want to keep the back of the hips grounded, but just moving the knee more towards the midline of your body or slightly past, and see if you can access a stretch down the outside of the hip, so towards the outside of the leg. If you're feeling it somewhere different, that's completely fine too. So some might feel it in the groin if you're a bit tight there, or feel it pulling somewhere else. Just make sure that it feels good, so there's no discomfort. And just gently pulling with the fingers, moving the knee across, making sure that your pelvis stays level on the ground. Then the top leg extends, maybe not all the way. So you might still have a bend in the knee. Hold it wherever it's comfortable and make sure that you're still keeping that right hip grounded. Okay, coming back to center again, just gather the knee in and we'll switch sides. So holding the left knee, bring it in close towards you. Notice what you're feeling here, try not to resist it. So notice if there's some pulling in the muscles, some tightness here. Maybe you want to just rock from side to side or up and down. Just see if movement feels better, or maybe you prefer to hold still. See how it feels to extend the other leg long. Only go there if it feels good to you. And let's bring the knee out to the side. So the right hand goes to your hip this time, just placing it on top so we can make sure that we're keeping the pelvis level. You might have a greater range of movement on one side than the other. It's very common. And slowly extending the leg. Might feel really tight to start with, so support it however you need, and then we'll just gradually let gravity take over. It'll start to help open the hip a bit more. You might even be getting a stretch down the hamstring. Just make sure the rest of your body can stay relaxed, so we're not tightening up around the neck or belly or anything like that. We're just holding this pose with ease, allowing the breath to move freely. And we'll come to the other side, so bend the knee, bring it to the opposite hand and move it just across your body. Might still be at the midline of your body, maybe not much further than that. Just go with what feels right to you. Just make sure that we're not twisting the hips off the ground. And then we'll extend the leg, hold wherever it's comfortable. And then bringing the knee in, bring both knees up, take hold of the soles of your feet. If you can't reach to your feet, then you can hold the shins, and bringing your knees wide, pull them down towards your side ribs. And just like before, we're keeping the back of the hips pressing down into the ground. Shoulders stay relaxed. Big deep breaths into your belly. This is a really nice pose if you have any lower back tension. Can be a really nice way to relax any tightness there. Getting a stretch around the groin, around the hips at the same time. Just a couple more breaths. And then we'll slowly release our feet, bring these together and roll over and come up to a seated position and cross legs. Hands onto knees, but let them just relax there, maybe the wrists or backs of the hands, whatever feels good. Take a moment to feel your posture. Feel that vertical alignment, lifting up through the crown of your head, but shoulders, they're broad, but they're also falling gently away from ears without pulling back hard. The breath comes easily through your nose, maybe if you can, if you don't have a blocked nose. And try to breathe through your nose. Let's see if we can direct the breath right down into your abdomen. Get that feeling of movement there. Maybe if you want to place a hand on your belly and a hand on your chest again. Feel the movement beneath both hands. And then resting your hands on your knees again. Just give the shoulders a bit of movement now, maybe up and down or circles, together or separately. And then we'll curl the shoulders forward and pull your navel in towards your spine, rounding out. Then we'll broaden across the shoulders. So let your hands slide to where they need to be. And here we're pressing the chest forward. You may like to lift your chin just to gently open up around the throat. Then scooping and rounding. And pulling the shoulders back, lifting your chest. Curling, rounding. And press your chest forward. Then just settle into neutral again. Just releasing your arms downwards now. Float your arms wide and high. Take a breath in and really stretch up tall here. And then with the out breath, float the hands down. Fingertips graze the ground. Rising again with the next breath, we're just going to do 2 more. Stretching up tall. And soften down. So allow yourself just to slightly slump a little at the bottom here. And then 1 more time. Breath in, lifting your chest. And the breath out, coming down. Resetting into neutral. Now open your arms out wide. Turning through your upper body. Bring one hand to your knee, the other hand floats behind. Keep turning the shoulders. And turning through the middle and upper back. And your head too. Open wide. Turn to the other side. Hand to knee or thigh, other hand behind. And keep moving just a little further. Open wide. Turn to the first side again. Keep revolving. Open. We'll make this one our last one. Turn, float down and revolve. Okay, facing me, hands to knees. At this point you may like to switch the legs over. Okay, now bring one hand on top of your head, just a little, so the palm is right on top, so the fingers just come a little bit further across. Now the other arm stretches up high, turn the palm out, flex it, or actually we're pushing the palm up to the ceiling, that makes more sense. And then bringing the arm out wide, I'm just going to very gently pull with the fingers to tip your head to the side. Just hold and breathe. And the hand floats down. Slowly let go of the hand on top of your head and bring your head back to neutral. Just pause for a breath. Same with the other side, so the other hand comes on top, palm right on the center, so the fingers curve over to the other side. The other arm comes up, flex the wrist or extend the wrist, push the palm up, and just gripping the fingers a little, just gently, but feel your fingers gently grip into the side of your head as we tip the head over and the other arm comes wide. Take it slow so you can feel what's happening. So if something doesn't feel good, it gives us a chance to back off. And we'll just hold right here. And slowly let the wide arm come down. Letting go of the top hand and reset to your neutral. Hands on knees. Just pause and breathe. Now slowly tip your chin down, lengthening up the back of the neck. Just hold and breathe again. Maybe you want to tip your head to one side, then the other. Then returning to neutral and lift your chin. Hold up here, maybe a little bit of side to side movement. You know what feels good for you. And eventually settling into a neutral position again. Pause to breathe. Okay, now bring your fingertips behind you, lift your knees so your feet stay on the ground. And just bring your knees over to one side and keep turning the hips over. So roll the hips over. And then to the other side. You may like to turn your head away from your knees. Going to the first side again. And away. One more time each side. Okay, now extend one leg out long and the other foot comes into your inner thigh. So here we'll lean out over the long leg. Doesn't have to be that far. Okay, so just whatever feels good to you. Make sure there's no pain, discomfort in the lower back. That's very important. Other than that, you can just start to lengthen your body forward. Try not to use the shoulders, so we want to make sure the action is happening from the hips. So think about a long belly, so we're not bunching in. And hands just relax down. Think about the position of your head, so the back of the neck is long. Leaning in. each breath might take you a little lower, a little further forward. Now sitting up, the hand comes beside the hip or just behind your hip with the bent knee. So we're away from the long leg, and then lifting your hips. The other arm just swoops up and over. So making a long line up through the leg, up through your body, up to the arm. Hold for a breath. And then with the out breath, we'll lower down and come over towards the long leg again. We're going to do this a couple more times. So hand comes behind and pushing off. And then lower down, come towards the long leg. Pushing off, one more time on this side. And lower down to seated, leaning over the long leg. Let's see if we can come a little bit further each time. And sitting up. Now this straight leg sweeps around, and make sure that you're sitting evenly on both hips and the foot comes to the outside of the thigh. If your hip is hitched up like this, then move your foot in front of your shin so that you can sit evenly. So it doesn't matter whether it's here or across, so long as we're sitting evenly, so both of the sides of your body are long. So hugging the bent knee in close to you, and the other hand floats behind, and take a gentle twist. So you may find that the foot needs to come to the other side, so you've got more maneuverability. Just make sure you're sitting tall here, so we're not starting to shrink back. So really try to lift out of the hips. Okay, and we'll ease our way out of the pose. This time the other leg comes out long, and we'll do it all again. So the foot comes to the inside of the thigh. Might feel really tight in comparison. So let's just have a bit of patience, take our time getting into the pose. So remember, it doesn't have to be far, but I want you to think about your upper body moving forward of the hips, not just the shoulders, not just reaching the arms. Okay, so really think about the position of your belly, of your chest, pitching forward. Alright, let's rise on up. Bring your hand behind you or beside your hip. Then lifting off. Long line through the leg, the body, the arm. Reaching, pressing the ground away from you to get more lift. One more breath. And lower down with the out breath. Let's come into our half seated hamstring stretch again. We'll rise up 2 more times, so coming up. And lower down, leaning in. And here's our last time, coming up. Stay for 1 more breath. And come on down. Let's make our way into our seated twist. So we'll reposition this foot either in front of the shin or coming across if you can keep yourself nice and square here. So go where it feels right to you, where you feel most stable. Gather in, lift and turn. Okay, and then come and ease your way out of this pose and lie down onto your back the way we started. Bring both knees up. Coming into the same position we did before. Happy baby. Holding onto your feet, bringing your knees wide and gently pull the knees down towards your side ribs. Try to attach the back of your hips to the ground, pressing downwards, but allow your breath to move with ease right down to your abdomen. Now you can stay here if you like, or you can come with me and send your legs wide apart. So we've got hands to the inner thighs, or if you feel super tight here, you might be holding around the outside of your thighs just to carry some of the weight of your legs, so it's less intense. Or if you've been doing this pose for a while, maybe you can reach up to your big toes, so just go with whatever feels best for you here. Gathering your legs in, and we'll cross the right leg over the top of the left thigh. Hands come to your knees and gently hug your knees in towards you, but try to keep the back of your hips grounded still. Now rolling your legs towards the left, rolling over onto your side, then send your right arm out long. If it's feeling a little bit awkward or too intense, then you can unhook that top leg and just rest your knees together. Let that back shoulder feel heavy, so we're getting more rotation here. And then float that top leg out long. You can hold it anywhere with your hand, just to hold it in place. And let your body sink and relax again. Okay, and after your next breath, we'll return to center. This time it's going to be the left leg over the top, crossing high up the thighs, squeezing them together a little. One hand on each knee. Bring them in close. Rolling the knees over towards the right. Keep them crossed if you like, if that's feeling good for you, with the left arm wide, or you can unhook the top knee. See what feels better. Now float the top leg long, holding wherever it feels good. Keep returning attention to your breath. Going back through center. Place your feet on the ground with your knees together. Spread your toes. Drop in. Feel your feet on the ground. Arms could be relaxed at your sides, or you might have one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, both on your belly, whatever feels better for you. Position your elbows and shoulders so they can relax here. Just for the last couple of minutes of our class, let's focus awareness on our breath. Feeling the movement beneath both hands. Allowing each out breath to relax your body more fully. Notice whenever your mind wanders. And just keep coming back to your breath. And then when you feel ready to move again, maybe you want to bring these to your chest, or maybe you want to take a big long stretch. And eventually come up into a seated position, into crossed legs to finish here together. So awareness of your posture, of your breath, of your general well-being. Let's take another breath to close our class together. Sweep arms wide and stretch up high. Connect at the top and come down center, landing at your heart space. Thank you so much for having me today. Namaste. And I will see you again next week. Ka kite anō.